1 life and no saves. The second I die, it's over. Everything gone. But here's what made this run actually insane. I can't just sit back and command my troops. I have to get in there. Every battle I'm on the front line, and one bad moment ends everything. I had no idea what I was getting into. But I can tell you this, it changed the way I play Bannerlord forever. Let's see how long I last. This is Dash No Kneel. He will not kneel to any king. Simple reason why would you bow to someone whose job you're planning to take? The problem? Right now, he has nothing. No army, no coin, no allies. Just the kind of stubbornness that gets men killed. He is not the kind of king who fights from a distance and gives orders. He rides fast into the chaos. That's not recklessness, that's just dash. And this is where he has to do it. Calradia. A world that has been bleeding for centuries and still hasn't had enough. 9 kingdoms tearing each other apart over land. This isn't a land of opportunities. You fight and make a name for yourself. Find men who will follow you. Take land as your own. Make others recognize your name by force. And then will they call you king. Vlandian blood. Had to be. The 15% bonus income as being a mercenary is going to be very useful. The initial points, most of them go into riding and polearm, with a few into charm, steward, and medicine. Starting age is 40 years old. For Banner, I went for this horse who cannot bend his knee. Simple, just like Dash. House name 1 life and name Dash no knee. Also, this challenge will be played at Bannerlord difficulty and at Ironman mode. Means I don't get second chances. The first thing I do is become a trader. I buy cheap goods from a town and sell it to a different town for profit. I keep multiplying my money until I convert my initial 1,000 gold into 16,000 gold. This took me about 10 minutes. I did get into some trouble at the beginning of my journey and had to pay 166 gold to looters because I alone cannot fight 10 of them. Next, I used the money collected to hire my first companion, Zahara the spice vendor. Paid her a signing bonus. Then used the remaining 15,000 to form a caravan as Zahara the spice vendor as its leader. She will be now making constant money for me until she is attacked and defeated. I should tell you, I am using the death for all mod. So just like me, in case the caravan is defeated in a battle, there is a very high chance that she dies. That is also true for all the companions and every other lord in the game. My finances sorted, I started recruiting. This time I am recruiting cavalry and I start hunting some looters. These Vlandian squire look just like me. Perhaps we have the same kit. I charge into looters with the boys. Sometimes things went really close to ending. Since I do not have good armor, any of these hits could mean the end of the road for me. When low on health, I play it safe and let the boys handle the rest. The first problem I found was upgrading my troops. They needed a war mount to upgrade. War mounts are hard to find and are not cheap, so upgrading them is a pain. But the good thing is I can easily catch up to looters and raiders. Most of the times I would lose some health and play it safe. But fighting on horseback has its risk, and shield in front does not guarantee complete safety. But luckily, I just got wounded and did not die. This early, I do not have good medicine skill and my armor is very low. That means there is about 25% chance of me dying in such cases. I just got lucky. Maybe I am meant to do great things. Every battle I took, I carefully evaluated the risk and reward from now on. I cannot afford something like this happening again. When I did take such tough battle, I made sure things were under control. This was the first time I was up against deserters. They are ex-army men. They also outnumber us by a little. But I have 15 cavalry, and they have a mix of everything. I can take advantage of that. In the battle, I first defeat their cavalry, who is ahead of everyone else. Then I flank with my men at the back to defeat their archers. These crossbow men can one-shot me, so I have to be careful not to take any unnecessary risk. It's important we take care of the archers first, so they are not taking free shots at my men when we are dealing with the infantry. Then at last we charge at the infantry. I need to take these tough fights to get their loot. I need access to good armor and weapons. Soon I had collected a lot of money. I invested that into my second companion, Ramira, the Wanderer. She is going to be leading my second caravan and make me more rich. She does not have very good trading skill, but she makes it up by having good riding and scouting. That means there is less chance of her getting into bad fights. Eventually, my army grew to 40 horsemen. A few of them upgraded to Vlandian Knight. All that fighting helped gain a lot of skills in riding and polearm. What I was missing was good weapons and armor. I made a name for myself. I made it to Clan Tier 1. This means I can hire more companions, raise bigger army, and the best part, work as a mercenary for kingdoms. I again had collected about 18,000 gold, so I found my third companion, Mata the Wanderer. She also had good scouting and riding, but average trading skills. I hired her and purchased another caravan. Placed Mata, the Wanderer, as the leader. Having 3 caravan means I will have no shortage of gold, ever. Now I can focus on building my army. I hired more cavalry until I had 70 men. I purchased more war horses so I can upgrade my cavalry later. Purchasing war horses without the gold from the 3 caravans would be impossible. The Battanians were at war with Nords and Western Empire. The Nords had also captured one of their most important town, Bannerlord. They were having a hard time but were offering good money to mercenaries. 300 gold per influence. So I accepted. This will provide me enough opportunities to pick battles and build my army and grow my name. Before I got into some serious battles, I wanted to get an upgrade to my kit, so I purchased a new spear. A lot better damage and reach than my original one. I also upgraded my armor. Got new shoulder guard, gloves, boots. Not the best armor, but I had to upgrade to reduce the risk of dying in battle. I spent about 14,000 gold on my new gear. Next, I went back into Vlandian territory to recruit some infantry and archers. I want a 100% Vlandian army. Now I had around 80 troops. I lead my army into Western Empire territory to attack some villages for goods. The goal is to give my men the taste of battle. Me and my cavalry did not participate as I wanted the infantry and archers to get experience. After attacking the villages non-stop for a very long time, my recruits had upgraded to 12 Vlandian sergeant and a few Vlandian sharpshooters. My clan made it to Clan Tier 2, one more step closer to my goal. Throughout the years, I got many marriage proposals, but I kept rejecting them. I wanted someone talented. I got another marriage proposal. She was not really skilled at anything particular. She could be a half-decent army leader because of her decent medical skills, but I was 44-year-old. All the hot chicks were now out of my league, so eventually my standards got down to reality and I accepted the next one. My new wife loved me so much that all the Tier 6 gear that she had, she gave it to me. Just the body armor alone was worth 77,000 gold. It was tier 6 armor with 50 armor points, compared to the 19 armor points on my tier 2 body armor. The other insanely valuable item was the helmet worth 50,000 gold and her horse worth 18,000 gold. Now, I was wearing top-class armor. I gave her the position as captain of the archers and gave her a bow and arrow. She will be a lot safer among the archers than with the infantry. To complete my army, I hired my 4th companion, Gulassen the swordsman. He is really good at one-handed and athletics. I paid him the signing bonus. He will be the captain of the infantry. With this, all the 3 army divisions, infantry, archers, and cavalry had a captain, as I will be leading the cavalry. Next, I formed my 2nd party, as my wife is the party leader. I gave her all the high-tier troops. She has better medicine skills than me. So it's better to have them under her command to increase their survivability in battles. I hired about 100 more recruits, and with my wife, we had a total army size of 200 troops. The Batanians declared peace with the Western Empire, so to train my new troops, I relied on deserters and hideouts. With my new armor, I had no fear of dying at full health, and I could charge into the enemy carelessly. But I was wrong. I attacked a hideout. Everything was going smooth like always. I was slaying as usual, but suddenly the boss and his men turned the tables, and the next thing I knew, all my men had died. It was just me against 4 sea raiders. My tier 6 gear could do nothing in this situation. I thought this was it. It's over. This was the 2nd time I got so close to death. 7 of my men had died. I was one of the lucky ones who got wounded and survived. This came as the 2nd reminder not to be careless. And my little mistake can be the end of everything I have worked for. I was scared of death, as this was just the beginning. The battles to come would be more violent, much bigger and less controllable. My first child is born. I named him Swift, no Kneel. The Batanians remained at peace for a very long time, so I joined the Vlandians as mercenary for about 200 per influence. It was less, but I was rich. They were at war with Southern Empire. So I went into Southern Empire territory. I attacked any army I saw and all the villages. After a lot of battles, I felt satisfied with my troops. Now majority of my infantry was tier 5. The war with the Southern Empire ended and Nords began. I saw one of the armies headed to Halvik Island, so I purchased 7 boats, cost me over 100,000 gold, almost half of my gold reserves. I went to besiege the only castle on the island, while the Vlandian army takes the town. Before I attacked, I noticed that the Vlandian army had lost, so I abandoned the siege. I also cancelled the mercenary contract with the Vlandian Empire. The plan was to take both the Hakashu's castle and Halvik town. I first sieged the castle. They were short on food supply, so I waited as their numbers dwindled. But then an army of 200 Nords came to help, so I attacked. I had already broken the walls of the castle. My infantry pushed from both the openings. The reduced number of defenders without any siege engines had no chance of defending against my superior infantry. We were able to win the castle with as little as 15 casualties. For the first time, I had a piece of land that was mine. I saw my dream of becoming a king coming true. Next, I found Shumsan, the engineer, who would be a decent governor for the castle, but before I could hire him, a huge Nord army, 1,000 strong, approached my castle. My engineering skills is not high enough to make fire catapults. Both the walls of the castle are already destroyed from the last battle. We have only 100 militia and about 200 of my army. I was not sure about the chances of winning this fight, So I decided to abandon the castle. Better to be alive than to be a dead king. On my way out, I saw that both the armies joined together to attack the castle. Good thing I did not stay. I went back to the main island and joined the Vlandians as mercenary again, but this time got a better deal. The war with the Nords ended, and with the Western Empire was at peak. I fought multiple one-sided battles with lords of the Western Empire and finally made it to Clan Tier 3. At Clan Tier 3, I can have another army under my clan. So I searched for the perfect party leader for this army. I found Sovos, the surgeon who has good medicine and decent steward skill. I hired him. I gave him all the high-tier troops and recruited about 150 Vlandian recruits. Now I commanded about 360 men in total. During this time, my second baby was born. She was a girl, so I named her Zippy No Neil. I saw Ustokol Castle had very poor defense with only 167 defenders. It was Sturgian territory, but was under Nord control. It was also at one edge of the island, so I decided to take it. I cancelled my mercenary contract and besieged the castle with my army. Now my clan was at war with Nords. This time I did not let my trebuchet destroy the walls of the castle. Instead, I built 2 towers to climb the walls. I destroyed all catapults and lead the attack. I placed my archers in open aggressively to deal with enemy archers. My Vlandian sharpshooters, who are level 5, destroyed all archers on the walls. My infantry easily pushed through the towers and we captured the castle with minimal casualties. I was not too excited. Taking a castle is easy. Defending is the hard part. I hired Yakus, the engineer who has good engineering skill and decent steward skill. I want an engineer governor in the castle so that construction projects are fast. Before I could settle in the new castle, a Nord army, almost 600 strong, approached the castle. They had 48 Ulfhedin and 38 Berserkir, Tier 5 Nord infantry units. I did not want to challenge such an army in open field battle, so I waited for them to attack. I built 4 catapults, and they were attacking with 2 towers and 1 ram. In the battle, I took control of one of the catapults to kill as many Nord soldiers as possible. We were able to destroy the 2 towers using the catapults, but the ram made it to the gate. They destroyed the main gate. I threw a lot of stones at their infantry, but they refused to back down. Soon they were inside the castle. I was having a very hard time killing the top-tier Nord infantry. I realized I need to upgrade my weapons if I want to deal with such high-tier infantry. Even after killing 84 men alone, they still had more troops than us, and the total kill count was almost equal. That means we were going to lose. But then my archer reinforcements came. I placed my infantry on one side and archers on the enemy back. Finally, the enemy routed. We lost 164 men. The toughest battle yet. I got 48 troops who were prisoners of the Nords. I placed them all as garrison in the castle and left to Vlandian territory to recruit more men. On the way, I saw Banseth was still under Nord control, and they only had 385 defenders. I made it my next target. I recruited 80 more men, and when I came back at Banseth, I saw Gricka was gathering a Nord army. I attacked him before he got the chance to gather more men. It was then I found out he was the king of the Nords. My direct competition. On the battlefield, my sharpshooters destroyed most of their army before the real fight began, and I led my cavalry to destroy their remaining archers. Even after such a one-sided fight, They killed 7 of my men. I took Greca as my prisoner. I got Bloodspiller Banner as the loot from this battle. Without wasting more time, I sieged Calradia. I destroyed all their catapults and did not destroy the walls. I finally had unlocked fire catapults. I constructed 1 fire catapult and 2 towers and attacked the town. I took control of the fire catapult and aimed it perfectly at their troops who were waiting to defend against my tower. I killed 76 enemy infantry using the catapult. When I was done, I charged with my troops into the town. We won the siege with only 17 losses. A big win. I had control over 1 town and 1 castle now. Though I had control over some land, I was not ready to defend them. They were too far from each other and surrounded by other kingdoms. I still needed to reach Clan Tier 4 to start my own kingdom, and we had the problem of loyalty. Both the town and castle had different culture than mine, so it was hard to rule over them. I saw Nords were having a hard time. The Sturgeons had taken over their town, Gretisfjord. I wanted to double down and take the island of Falvik. It had 900 defenders, which will be a big challenge. Before I got a breather, the Nords attacked my castle with an army 1,300 strong. Ustakol Castle is not really important, but winning would help me make a name for myself, so I went to defend. Their army was too big to attack on open fields, so I had to sacrifice 50 of my highly trained men to get inside the castle to defend. It was 400 of our men versus 750 Nords. In the battle, I missed too many catapult shots, so it was a bit tough to destroy both the enemy towers. But once I did that and killed a lot of Nords with the stones, they routed. Lost a lot of my valuable crossbowmen in this battle. Overall, this was a costly battle for me to take. I needed to replenish my troops as I lost a lot of men. I went back all the way to Vlandian territory to recruit more men. As I was hiring recruits, my leadership skill finally reached 250. That means I get another army in my clan. So I hired Attis the Prince. He was good at leadership and decent at steward. I recruited about 100 more men while I was in Vlandian territory. A Nord army 1,000 strong attacked my castle. I was too far to defend and I lost Ustakol Castle to Nords. When I made it to my territory, the same army was headed for my town Calradia, and they were faster than me. I waited for their numbers to go down, and with my new army, which was 500 strong, I attacked. My first large-scale open field battle. I had this amazing mountain at my side. I set my crossbowmen on the slope of this mountain and waited for the Nords to attack. There was only 1 cavalry in the Nord army, so I went alone to get the first kill of the battle. By the time the Nord infantry reached my infantry, their numbers had significantly reduced. I sent my cavalry to destroy Nord archers and attacked the infantry with my own charge. We won, but lost a few of our new men, but also gained 100 upgrades from the battle. Next, I attacked Ustakol Castle and took it back with minimal casualties. These victories against the Nords made my name Dash No Neil spread across Calradia, and my clan was recognized as Clan Tier 4. I recruited Mitunis the Scholar because of his good steward skills. Under his leadership, I created my 5th clan party and recruited a lot of Vlandian soldiers. Now I had 725 men under my command, and with this I went straight to Valvik Island. The goal to take the island from the Nords and start my own kingdom. Before sieging Hakashu's castle, I checked. The Nords were at war with Sturgeons. Another Nord castle was now captured by the Sturgeons, so chances of anyone coming to defend were slim. This was good for us, because a large part of my 700-strong army was still recruits who had no battle experience. The walls of Hakashu's castle were only Tier 1. they broke, so I just attacked with one fire catapult. In the battle, I used the fire catapult to kill majority of enemy infantry before sending in my army. Their infantry got reduced from about 180 initially to just 60 men. My army easily captured the castle with just 10 losses. I did not leave any defenders in the castle and moved to Havalvik town. They now had almost 1,000 defenders compared to my army of 700. My plan was to starve the defenders before attacking, so I waited. While I waited, Hakashu's castle got attacked by a Nord army, and then a different Nord army, 500 strong, approached to help defend Falvik town. I had no choice but to attack. This time I made 4 fire catapult, and one of the wall of the castle was broken. I had 1 siege tower to attack from the other side. I took charge of one of the fire catapults and decimated the defenders. But when my army charged, they got destroyed by the Nord defenders. I was forced to retreat, or I would lose my whole army. I lost the siege tower because of the retreat. I did not have more time to make another one, as the 500-strong Nord army would reach the city through the port, and I won't be able to win then. So I attacked again. The whole Nord army stood in front of the broken wall to defend, and they got destroyed by my catapult. This time, when my army attacked, they did not have the numbers advantage, and they lost. Both the Nord armies besieging the Hakashu's castle and the one trying to defend Havalvik town retreated. I got control of the whole Halvik island now. I called the engineer from Karbanseth, placed him as the governor of Halvik, and declared the beginning of the No-Neel Empire. My dream finally became a reality. I was now the king, but my wife won't let me sit on my throne. It is what it is. It was time to rebuild the strength and defend. My kingdom was the weakest in the whole Calradia, and now every other kingdom will want to attack me. The first thing that I wanted to do was clear all the looters and raiders on the island, so the villagers are not dying and they can prosper. The next step I took was introduce new policy within my kingdom, forgiveness of debts. This will increase loyalty within my kingdom. I need people to be happy, so there are no revolts. This did come at a small cost of 5% reduced production. For the first time, I allowed Nords to be part of my army. Since I own these Nord lands and I am their king, it is only right they follow me into battles too. Next, I purchased 3 heavy boats from my town, Valvik. Cost me more than 200,000 gold and set sail for Tharcliffe Castle. The Nords and Sturgeons have been at constant war, which made Tharcliffe Castle an easy target. By the time I made it to the castle, the Sturgeons also declared war on my kingdom. I think they are targeting Ustokol Castle, but I am also targeting their town next. In the battle at Tharcliffe Castle, as usual, I destroyed their infantry with my amazing catapult skills, and we captured the castle with only 11 casualties. I noticed that there was still the problem of loyalty among a few of the towns. I gained enough influence from the battle to pass my second policy, trial by jury, further increasing loyalty within my kingdom at the cost of security. Hopefully everyone should be happy now. Being the smallest kingdom, I did not want to challenge the Nords and the Sturgeons at the same time. I saw that the Nords were willing to make peace before they lose more land, while the Sturgeons did not want peace. I agreed to peace with Nords so I can focus on Sturgeons for now. Next, I moved to attack Gretisfjord, the only Sturgeon-occupied fief up north. Before I could, the Sturgeons launched their first attack on Ustokol Castle, with an army 2,000 strong. I have never faced such a large army before. It will be a challenge to defeat them, but conquering Gretisfjord should be easy. because this town is disconnected from the rest of the Sturgian territory. I would anytime trade castle for a town, so I attacked Gretisfjord. Gretisfjord was almost on the blink of revolt. They had loyalty issues with the Sturgians because of cultural differences, so the local militia did not join the battle. It was just the Sturgian garrison who would defend the town. Good for me, but the garrison was 400 men strong. In the preparation phase, I destroyed all enemy siege equipment without destroying the walls and attacked with 2 towers and a fire catapult. Unlike other siege battles, this time my archers lost and almost all of them died or got wounded. I still continued the siege. I used the fire catapult to lay havoc on the enemy. Once I was out of ammo, I attacked. A difficult battle, but due to sheer number advantage, we were able to win. The losses on our side were staggering. I lost 58 of my men, but won the battle. On the other side, I had lost Ustakol Castle, and I knew my army was not ready to take on the 2,000-strong Sturgian army. I need to prepare for what's coming. To add to my troubles, the town and my army was now facing food shortages. I found a temporary fix to the food problem, but the Sturgian army had moved on to my city Karbansen. Though reduced in numbers, they were still too much for me to handle, and too far to reach in time. I moved towards Karbansith, but I knew by the time I would make it, it would be lost. So instead I went for Ustokol Castle. I need Ustokol Castle as my first line of defense against the Sturgians. Out of nowhere, the Northern Empire declared war on my no-kneel kingdom. I gave almost 200,000 gold to call in my only ally, the Khuzaits, to join the war against Northern Empire. The Khuzaits are strong. They should be able to keep them busy. I was able to capture back Ustokol Castle with only 11 casualties, though majority of them was my mistake. It happens to the best of the best kings. Next, I waited for the Sturgian army to attack Ustokol Castle, which they did, though their numbers had now reduced to only about 1,000. I built 4 fire catapults in preparation, and when the Sturgians attacked, they got destroyed by the catapults, granting us an easy victory. At this point, the majority of lords in the Sturgian kingdom were my prisoners. I do not think they will have the guts to attack again, but I did lose Karbansith to the Sturgians. Before I made a choice about Karbansith, the Nords declared war. So I went north. Offense is sometimes the best defense. So instead of waiting for the Nords to attack, I replenished my troops from the Tharcliffe Castle garrison and proceeded to attack Wykerslund Castle. I captured the castle with ease, with about 18 casualties. What came next was something that's too much for me to handle. 2 Nord armies, 1,600 and 600 strong, are attacking me from 2 sides. I leave the castle and move to take on the smaller army. I only have a small advantage of about 100 men. The battle is an absolute chaos. The mountainous terrain does not allow for clean battle. I won the battle with 46 losses. Wykerslund Castle is lost to the larger Nord army, and now they are headed for Tharcliffe Castle. So I wait for them to defend, but before I get to go inside, I am caught off guard. Unwilling to fight on open field, I had to lose about 100 of my men to escape with my army. A huge loss. And then it happened again. I lose another 100 men. But this time, I was able to bait them to attack the castle. The enemy is attacking with a tower and ram while I have 4 fire catapult. This should be easy. On top of that, the castle has a beautiful layout for defense. I am successfully able to destroy the siege tower. I am on the verge of decimating the infantry at our gate with stones when enemy infantry show up inside the walls through the use of ladders, which I totally forgot about. I am too focused to reduce their numbers by using stones, or we won't be able to win the defense. And during the chaos, this happened. I got lucky the third time. I just got wounded and did not die. Gulaset the swordsman take the charge of the battle, and he finishes what I was not able to. It still looked like the enemy was too much to handle. Their 300 infantry was too much for the 50 of my remaining infantry, and it looked like this would be the end of my whole army. And then suddenly our reinforcements came. Gulasen used some remaining firestones and fought like everyone's life depended on it. When all hope seems lost, the enemy routed. This came so close to being a defeat. After this fight, my 700-strong army was reduced to mere 200. I needed to refill my ranks, as this was the perfect time to push back. So I went back to Halvik Island and took all the troops from the Hakarshus castle garrison. But during this time, the Sturgeons had taken control of Ustakol Castle. So I went to take it back. I captured it back within an epic battle. I only lost 2 men in the siege fight. The Sturgeon army had attacked Gretisfjord while I was busy at Ustakol Castle, and the Nords had captured Tharcliffe Castle. I went to defend Gretisfjord. It was becoming too much for me to handle. The Nords and the Sturgeons combined. I was also at war with the Battanians and Northern Empire. Currently, the Vlandians were the strongest kingdom in Calradia, and they were ready to make an alliance with my No-Kneel kingdom. I did not want them as an enemy right now, so I made them my ally. Now, I had 2 of the strongest kingdoms in Calradia, the Khuzaits and Vlandians, as my ally. I made it to Gretisfjord in time. A complete one-sided battle. I defeated the Sturgeon army. When I went to take back Tharcliffe Castle, I saw that the Nords were gathering a huge army. But as they were going to attack my city, some of the mercenaries left the Nords for the Battanians. Their army was reduced from 1,500 to only 1,000. Confident in my army, I challenged them in open field. Stop. They had almost 250 men advantage, so there was no room for error in the battle. I started the battle with picking of out-of-line troops in the enemy, raising the morale in my men. Then we braced the enemy arrows for a very long time, until they were out of ammo. When the enemy attacked, I charged the archers from behind with my cavalry. I did the same when enemy reinforcements came. I alone killed 84 men without any siege equipment in this battle. The moral was at its peak, even though we lost about 100 men. I continued the momentum and captured back Tharcliffe Castle with as little as 4 casualties. I got more men from the Gretisfjord garrison and proceeded to defend Ustakol Castle. Finally, the Nords were willing to make peace. I was not able to handle the constant war with the Sturgians and the Nords. So I made peace with the Nords by giving them daily tribute of 190 gold. This buys me time to take care of Sturgians for good. I defended Ustakol Castle from the Sturgian army and attacked Revel. It's time we expand. Revel had almost 800 defenders, so this fight will be difficult. I attacked with 2 fire catapult and 2 towers. As usual, I used the catapult to shred their infantry. But even after using all of our ammo, it was extremely difficult to get inside the castle. The Sturgeons were playing it too aggressive. But finally they made a big mistake. Their infantry chased us by coming down from the tower. Taking advantage of this, we made a push that they could not stop, and my men killed all reinforcements that came one after another. We lost about 50 men in the battle. After capturing the town, I found out that we also lost Sovos, the surgeon. This was the first time I lost a companion. His medical skills had saved lives of so many of my men. I did not get to grieve the death of Sovos, the surgeon. It was war. I wanted to keep the momentum alive against the Sturgeons. I found Istiona, the healer. She will be replacing Sovos, the surgeon, when I have more men to form a new army. Next, I focused on next Sturgian town, Varcheg. Taking this town will be a big blow to the Sturgians. Varcheg had about 800 defenders compared to my 700 men. The battle felt extremely difficult. 170 archers pounding infinite arrows on my men. But eventually we figured the castle and pushed them from behind. I lost a lot of men in this battle, but captured a very important sturgeon town. I could have attacked another sturgeon town, but it felt important to take a step back and consolidate our gains and recruit new soldiers. So I declared peace with the sturgeons, and they gladly accepted. The Nords could attack any moment, and we were about to reach the Battanian border. I was still at war with the Battanians, so I went back to my island with whatever remained of my army. Falvik is prospering. I purchased a Tier 6 sword which will help me in future battles. Big upgrade from my current Tier 4 sword. I took 300 men from the Hakarshu's castle garrison, created a new army under the leadership of Istiona, the healer. My clan made it to Tier 5 now. Now I am commanding a total army of almost 900 men, as I am headed for the Nords' territory. They declare war on my kingdom, lest they know that I have been prepared. My firstborn, Swift No Neil, is now 18. About time he saw the real world. I called him to join my army as well. I am 64 years old. My days are limited. He needs to be ready to take charge of this No Neil revolution that I have spent a lifetime creating. I started my attack by sieging Nord's Wykerslund castle. I captured the castle with as little as 7 losses. I moved to the next Nord castle, Fimbulgard. First time, one of the kingdoms asked for peace. This meant that finally they fear us. No, we are no longer little no-named kingdom. The name No Neil is known throughout Calradia. While I am preparing to attack, a 900-strong Nord army shows up. I am in a tough spot and had to leave the siege. I chase this Nord army. While all of this is happening, another Nord army conquers Wykerslund castle that I just captured. In a very brutal steel versus steel battle, I got wounded again. We lost a large number of our men, but managed to win. I captured Wykerslund castle back from the Nords in a clean battle. Lost only 1 soldier, and then proceeded to capture Fimbulgard castle. I capture Fimbulgard castle with 18 casualties. While I am busy conquering Nords, the Sturgeons had declared war and captured Revile and Ustakol castle. I realize I cannot do it alone. I need help. I need lords who will support my vision. So I found Kara Willowbark. She is of Sturgian culture. I granted her Varcheg. Only Sturgeon Town remaining under my control. She will be leading a clan of her own. The Sturgeons have gained their strength back. After capturing Varcheg, they now attack my Gretisfjord. I am too invested into Nords right now to deal with the Sturgeons. So, I pay a heavy tribute of 769 gold per day to them and proposed peace. They accepted. Next, I move on a spree to capture Nord towns and castles and then give it away to wanderers. First, I capture Brunmark Castle. I gave it away to a Nord girl named Sexa of the River. She formed the clan No Neil Nords. Then I captured Haugra Castle and gave it away to an Empire wanderer named Sakanayan the Surgeon. He formed the clan No Neil Empire. Next, I attacked Hargard, a major Nord town. Taking this will be a bit setback to the Nords. They have more defenders than my army at Hargard, though they have food for only 8 days. I cannot wait because a Nord army is attacking my castles too. So, to make things easier, I destroy both the walls of the town and attack. I won the battle with only 37 losses. I keep the town under my clan because its location and high prosperity. More prosperous towns generate more gold through taxes. While I have been capturing Nord towns and castles, the Nords were doing the same. They captured Fimbulgard Castle and were sieging Ikersland Castle. My only daughter is now of age. This means my days in this world are limited, and I have a lot to do but have very little time. I went back and took one of the 2 towns remaining in Nord's possession. Thunderlag. This is the biggest town in Nords. They outnumber my army by almost 150 men. I alone take down more than 150 men. We capture Thunderlag with about 50 casualties. On the way to the next castle, I met the only remaining Nord army. This army has almost every lord in the Nord kingdom. Defeating this army means I can take all of them prisoners, and there won't be anyone left to defend. The only problem, they outnumber us by almost 500 men. I know if I don't defeat them, this loop of exchanging castles would continue my whole life. So I wait for them to attack me. The most difficult battle I have ever fought. Initially, I went too hard and tried my best to take down as many enemy soldiers as possible. A big mistake as I get wounded after taking down 26 men. Next thing I know, every captain is already wounded and there is no one to command the army. The battle is now totally dependent on my men. They clutch it as the battle went from almost 400 kills on both sides to 1,300 kills by my men. I took every Nord lord as my prisoner, including their king, kept the momentum going and captured all the remaining castles controlled by Nords. Now Nords have only one town remaining, Balgard, which is not even their own culture, as I go to attack the town. The Khuzaits, second most powerful kingdom in Calradia, declare war on our No-Kneel kingdom. I am forced to declare peace with Nords. I want to end the Nord kingdom, but I had to make this hard choice. I look at my age. I am 70 years old. I look at the age of the oldest lord alive, so I have about 10 more years to go. An impossible goal if I want to unite Calradia under my No-Kneel banner. I made some changes to my army composition. It was Nord infantry dominant, but now I invested into archers too. Now we had a lot of Nord archers too. I do not want to give the Khuzaits time to prepare. I launch my attack on Vladiv Castle, Sturgian culture castle occupied by Khuzaits. Capturing it was easy. I gave it away to the No-Kneel Sturgia clan. Next, I captured a Gilting castle. Again, conquered it with ease. I found Sazel the Knowing, who is from Khuzait culture. I gifted him a Gilting castle and formed the clan No-Kneel Khuzait. Next, I captured Scarthness castle. Captured it with 0 casualties. Finally, the Khuzait army showed up. Only 800 men strong. I took them on in open field battle. They had lot of horsemen and horse archers. The Khuzait horses were no match for my Nord infantry. They got destroyed when they charged. The Khuzait horse archers were a bit of problem. They circled behind our backs. I do not have a lot of horsemen remaining in my army. All of them had died. So I alone charge into the Khuzait horse archers. My archers end up doing more damage to the Khuzait horse archers. When I pushed with my infantry to attack their infantry, they just ran away. Looks like the Khuzaits will not be a problem at all. Their army is weak and do not stand a chance against my battle-trained Nord infantry. I won the battle with only 14 losses. Another Khuzait army shows up. About 800 men again. They ran away too. This time, 17 losses. Next, I capture the last remaining Nord culture castle in the Khuzait control, Ulixhorn Castle. I took 4 castles from the Khuzaits. They gladly accept peace when I offered. For the first time in very long time, I was at peace with every kingdom in Calradia. I owned every Nord culture, town, or castle in Calradia. But the Nord kingdom still existed. I needed to handle them. So I took my army and attacked what's left of Nord kingdom. The only problem, it's 900 of my men against 1,600 Nords. Good thing they have a food problem. I wait till their numbers reduce to 1,200. One of the toughest siege battles I have ever fought. Every remaining Nord lord is in this town. Even I got wounded in the battle. More than 100 of our good men died. We won. The Nord Empire fell. Right here. This was their last stand, and we broke them. Before I could start celebrating, I found out. Zippy no Neil, my child, my daughter, my world had fallen in battle. She was the reason why I was building this no Neil kingdom. I wanted my kids to never kneel just like me. The process of getting there destroyed my will to do it anymore. For a while, I just rode, without any plan. But Calradia doesn't wait for grief. The Khuzaits want revenge and they declare war on me. I still have a kingdom to defend. I shoulder this responsibility until the day I die. Currently, my kingdom is allied with the Northern and the Western kingdoms. The Northern Kingdom shares a border with the Khuzaits, so I pay them 500,000 gold to join my war. 500,000 gold. Grief is expensive. The Khuzaits declared war on the wrong man at the wrong time. They just don't know it yet. The Khuzaits' King Munchug leads the attack with a small army of 300 men trying to take my castle. I take my army of almost 1,000 and attack him. The Khuzaits' horse archers are rendered completely useless by my battle tactics. I charge into the Khuzait army like a mad king. I take the Khuzait king prisoner of war. He might not have a kingdom when he gets released from my prison. I capture each and every Khuzait town and castle one by one. I destroy any Khuzait army that tried to retake. After some time, I have every Khuzait lord as my prisoner. The conquest is extremely smooth and aggressive. In most of the battles, I am not even losing a single man. My 700 Nord Huskar are almost immortal against the Khuzait infantry and archers. My battle is against time, and not their capabilities. I destroy the Khuzait kingdom, but now I am 80 years old. I have a lot to do in this world, but not enough time. The Sturgians have declared war on my no-Neil kingdom. I respect that, because it must have taken a lot of courage to do so. I am desperate to speed things up. I need more help. I start giving away towns and castles to wanderers. I want the no-Neil Empire to have its second army, who is like me defending and attacking. So, I found Erigai the Mad. I gifted him Akalat, making him the second no-Neil Khuzait clan. I kept doing so until I did not have any more influence to spend. Now my kingdom has 10 clans. The Sturgians were taking my no-Neil kingdom lightly. They were about to capture my third fief. I attack them. My strategy is plain and simple. Protect the archers with the infantry. The battle with the Sturgians are a lot difficult than with the Khuzaits. The Sturgian infantry is strong. Every battle I am winning at the cost of a few of my valuable soldiers. Though they have good quality infantry, they do not have a lot of towns and castles. Also, finally, for the first time, one of the clans in my kingdom formed their own army. Though they did not accomplish anything, but that was a good start. The war with the Sturgians got over in just 3 years. I am 83 years old now. Their few towns and castles now belong to the no-Neil Empire. This makes the no-Neil Empire the biggest in terms of number of fiefs. But we still do not have large army like the Vlandian. The no-Neil kingdom was at peace. So, it was time to suppress rising rebellions. The town of Baltakand and Odo rebelled. Part of it was my mistake. I was too much focused in the wars that I did not give them the attention they needed. I fixed that, and it was time to bring them back to the No-Kneel Kingdom. I am a bit focused on managing my kingdom when the Vlandians declare war on me, granting me my final wish. I know I do not have enough time to bring the whole Calradia under one banner, so I will make the No-Kneel Kingdom the strongest, so they don't have to kneel in front of anyone. The Vlandians asked for more than what they could handle. I brought in my allies into the battle, the Battanians and the Northern Empire. I took my army and went to the northmost fief of the Vlandian kingdom, worked my way down, capturing every castle and town in my way. I captured almost half of Vlandian territory when I fell ill. I knew the end is around the corner. I wanted to go down dashing into the wind, charging into the enemy without any fear. I made sure, my son, Swift No-Kneel will be the next king. The blood of a No-Kneel runs in his veins. He will be a great leader, maybe conquer whole of Calradia. I wanted one last battle before it's over, and the Vlandians delivered. They tried to take back Ox Hall with a small army. Exactly what I want. I charge into the enemy alone, just riding and swinging my polearm, without any fear. Just like old days, when I was a nobody, had no allies and no money. All I had was a horse and my lance. I gained companions who would follow me, a wife who loved me more than I could ask, had more money than I could even spend. Kingdom after kingdom fell. The Nords, the Khuzaits, the Sturgians. I dashed through them. Sadly, I lost my daughter Zippy, but never lost my dream. The dream to raise the kingdom without kneeling. The No-Kneel Kingdom. Today stands tall as the biggest and the strongest kingdom in Calradia. I had one life. I made it count.